Oh, hey everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs. It's Saturday Hockey Talk. I'm just getting ready. I'm running a little late. See you in a minute. Hey everybody, welcome to Saturday Hockey Talk. I'm going to address this right away. Julie Thibodeau, thank you so much for the membership. Some Julie hype in the room and some new member hype in the room. Thank you so much. I don't know if there's people in here to do that, but thank you so much, Julie. Hey Daryl, how's it going? Daryl Adams. All right, so let's get a Saturday Hockey Talk. So I think I should cancel that out. Don't leave that up there. So we had a game today, actually. The Habs rookies played the Ottawa Senators rookies, and Montreal very disappointingly lost 4-3. They were up 3-2 with about somewhere around 5 minutes left, and Ottawa scored 2 quick goals. So yeah, that changed everything. And still, it was a mildly interesting game. I don't know. It wasn't a great game. Norlander looked really good, and at the same time, looked pretty bad. So you could say that. I liked what I saw in Guhle, Harvey Pinard. Yeah, I liked some of what I saw, but I mean, in general, kind of looked a little slow, and I don't know. All right, so I just want to add anything here before I move over to comments. So hey guys, say hi. Matt will be with us hopefully very soon. I was expecting him to be here before the show, but he's probably running late. And yeah, so what do you guys want to talk about? I don't know if anybody saw my Wayne Gretzky video. No, I can tell you nobody saw it. For some reason, I don't know. People want to hear some of the old stuff. And when I do videos about the old stuff and the old names, if you can call Wayne Gretzky an old name, I guess you can at this point. Yeah, I don't know. There's just not much reaction to it. So, hey, NHL Hockey News, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you. So, yeah, so if anyone's interested in my Wayne Gretzky video, so Wayne Gretzky, I put almost became a Hab. I mean, he did almost sort of. It wasn't as close necessarily as that, but considering it was 41 years ago, so then yeah, you can say almost. So it's a very interesting story. It's one that no one's ever heard of because basically there's not, how do I want to put it? There's no actual proof that this happened, but if you know how Sam Pollock worked, then yeah, you can believe that this is what happened. So very interesting, and thank you, NHL. I appreciate that. So I thought it was a very interesting story, and I thought, well, I got to do a video on that. So I kind of went in depth on it. I found a couple of articles. One is out there by Frank Saravalli. The other one, honestly, I found it on Facebook. I don't know the article, the guy who wrote it, but the article is very, it's got the facts in there. It's got a little bit of different point of view, and yeah, I thought it was very good. Hey, Harry Rice. Hey, Petty, how's it going? Petty, yeah, okay. Petty asked a very interesting question. Hey, it was good, bro. Do you think Norlander is good to do the team, or he will make the team, but as a replacement? And do you actually think the Habs now are better than last season or not? You know what? Norlander looks good on the offense. I think his defense is still lacking a bit, and I think that is going to be a problem for him this year. So I think he's going to end up back in Sweden, which is not a bad thing. So no, I don't think he's going to make the Habs this year. I really don't, because I don't know his. There was a play where Ottawa scored, and he made this like lackadaisical kind of move at the blue line and lost the puck. And I'm wondering, who's number 59? That guy's not going to get back on the ice for a while. And he was back out on the next shift. And then later I realized it's Norlander because he scored to make up for it a little, I think in the next period. And I go, oh, that's Norlander. Okay. Yeah. So I can see where he's really good on the offense. You can see the offense, but the defense still, to me, is a little bit lacking. So that's what I saw anyway. You enjoy my waking videos? The ones, well, that's just the open. Yeah, I'm going to use that. I'm sure a few times. I've got to already make a bunch of new opens. Let's see. How would even Habs would even have more cups with Wayne? Yeah, you got to figure, right? I mean, you got to figure. Yeah, it would be nice. It would have been nice if it could have happened. It didn't. Let me see. Sorry, I got sidetracked there for a sec. Already trolling in the room. I don't know what's up with that. Yeah, you can try. Suzuki and Dvorak better than Marner. Yeah, that's a bit of a it's a bit of a jump. Listen, I know in junior with the London Knights, Dvorak had Suzuki. No, Dvorak had Marner on his wing, and I believe he outscored him that year. But I mean, it just goes to show that Marner's a really good winger. Is Dvorak better than Marner? He hasn't proved it yet in the NHL. Hey, hopefully, all the better to him to prove it here in Montreal. That would be great. But to say that he's better, I don't know. And to say Suzuki is yet, no. At this point, I'd have to think Marner right now, before the season starts, I'd have to say Marner is a better hockey player. But that doesn't mean that even this season that couldn't change. And but right now, I don't think that's an accurate statement personally. Petty says, and I don't know why, but most of the people say Montreal is not making the playoffs. I don't know. Montreal is a good team. Now, like DVO is like Mitch Marner, and Suzuki said he was better than Marner, but that's Suzuki. Yeah, but it has to be put out. It has to be played out on the ice, and we won't know till we get there if they're going to make the playoffs. So here is Mr. Matt. Hey, Matt. How's it going?
Evening.
Did you like your picture in the on the thumbnail?
I
haven't even noticed it. I'm just curious.
Did you see the new member right at the big top of the?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I did, and I did acknowledge.
I love it. I'm cool. Yay!
It's for now, anyway.
Yeah, no, I gotta actually get a good space right next to where I am right now for pictures.
I just thought that was,
I didn't have time to take them today.
Yeah, no worries.
No, I love it.
Harry writes, honestly, I'm fine with Norlander being more on the offensive side, given we have enough defensive defenders. Okay, but Harry, did you watch the game? Because I wanted to say that, I don't know, he needs some work. That was pretty... I'm not saying that that's his defensive game and that's everything about his defensive game, but I mean, it was a pretty big mistake. So, I don't know. I just figure, I'd rather probably err on the side of caution here and not maybe rush the guy if he's not fully 100%, where you look at him and go, yeah, he's ready. That's all. Did you see?
Yeah, but I mean, at least we know he's going to be the puck mover that we need whenever he eventually comes over.
That he definitely has to his game. There's no doubt there. Did you see the game at all?
No, I got to watch it. I was out all day. Me and my girlfriend were out.
No, just curious if you saw it. Yeah, I watched most.
I watched the highlights.
And he had like one play where he looked god awful, and then one play where he scored where he looked really good. So, and then I mean he looked good in general, just defensive side.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And they had Guhle and Norlander out there together. I don't know that was the best duo yet. I don't know. They didn't look as good together as I would have thought. But I mean, sure, it's the first time they're ever playing together.
Right.
Hey there, SASE. How's it going? Automatic 123, Dixon Automotive. Let's see what Automatic's got to say. Hey, Rick, thoughts on Ryan Poehling? I really want him to get a shot. I think he potentially, if untapped, a huge wild card. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that he's a wild card. I mean, we're expecting him to hit possibly this year. So I don't know if that's a wild card, but yeah, I think just by Montreal not inviting him to take part in rookie camp gives you a good idea in their thinking, right? Right. They think he's gotten up a level, and I don't think I think the two-way contract they gave him also tells you they're not sure he's an NHLer this season, but that he has risen a level or, moved up a little bit. And I think Ryan Poehling's got a shot. I think Ryan Poehling's got a bigger shot than Mattias Norlander does.
Right. No, I agree. I mean, I hope so because I am, and we'll get to it, but I'm not a fan of what the projected lineup's going to be.
Okay, but don't take. Okay, this is what he's talking about.
Now, I'm just saying that's what I saw.
But first you got to take that from where this comes from. Right. Okay, this is the lineup as seen by the crew at L'Antichambre.
Right.
That ought to tell you something just right there, right? This is L'Antichambre. I don't know that, because I look at this and go, I don't get it. So you got Price and Allen. Okay, duh, that's obviously going to be it. So you got Edmondson, Petrie, Chiarot, and Savard. Now, Chiarot, Savard, not who I want, but I guarantee you almost that that's who's coming out and playing when the season starts because that's who they're going to put together. Interesting they got Romanov and Weidman, but I mean, could be. So they have Toffoli, Suzuki, Caulfield, which we all have.
Right.
Then it breaks down for me. You got Hoffman, Dvorak, Anderson, Drouin, Perreault, Gallagher, Lehkonen, Evans, Armia. Like, was Perreault does anybody really think Perreault was penciled in as a center, let alone a regular winger? You think he's penciled in as the center on the third line? I don't know. I don't think that's right.
No, look.
I think that's weird.
And I don't like that middle six. I feel like you got to swap the sets of wingers. You know what I mean? I feel like the line of Hoffman, Dvorak, Anderson is just too much scoring. You know what I mean? It's not a lot of
They're all goal scorers.
Basically. Yeah, there's not gonna not a lot of like you said a Drouin a pure playmaker. Obviously they can all pass the puck, but I think of the three of them, I'm thinking shots. I'm thinking goals.
Yeah, there's only so many goals for each line that I don't know that I want 3 goal scorers as my line. I'd like to throw in a guy that can move the puck around more. Now, from what I understand, Hoffman is decent at it. I don't know. I don't know him that well. So
he'll get assists, but he's a goal scorer. I mean, he's shoot first, pass.
I would think Mike Hoffman is your goal scorer on that line, right? So they're looking at him to be your guy to move the puck around. I don't know. I don't know that I want him to be that guy, right?
No, like we've said, I prefer Drouin in that role, and I know with Anderson and Gallagher, I mean, you can swap.
Those can swap. Okay, I'll give you, but you're wasting a year of Gallagher's goal scoring. If you ask me, right? How many more years is he going to be one of your better goal scorers?
Right.
I want him on the second line this year, at least till he plays himself off it.
Right.
That's how I look at it. And then what do we got for? I think also Ducharme has. Now, okay, training camp hasn't hit, but Ducharme's come out and pretty much said that he sees Evans as the third-line center this year.
Yeah, I see.
So putting Perreault
that also caught me off guard. And there's no Poehling as the extras. I'm like, but again, and I don't think
Drew Poehling's not even there.
Right, he's not there, and I mean, let alone third line. I don't think Matthew Perreault should be playing center at all. I think let alone the third line center.
Would he even be a third line winger as a regular winger? I don't think so. So to put him at center, he hasn't played center in 4 years. Why is he coming here to play center after 4 years? He's 33. He's no healthier than he was 4 years ago. You got to think.
Right.
So, and I don't know.
His face-off numbers are kind of if they're not going to have Poehling, at least bump Evans up to the third line and have Paquette center the fourth line or something. You know what I mean? A natural center.
I see that as a possibility if Poehling doesn't make it. I see that. I still don't see Perreault there. If Perreault's going to play,
no, he shouldn't be a center.
I think he's going to be a winger. I don't see why I listen. I don't know him well enough to say, okay, his back is 100% better. He's going to be able to, or it's the opposite. I don't know, but I know he went from being a center to being a winger because of his back. That much I do know. So let's see what the guys are saying. Harry, okay, I'd asked him a question and then I went away. I did watch parts of the game. The production value was horrible. That's true. But
yeah, was it just on like this? Was it just that Sens YouTube or whatever?
Oh, they were horrible. The production, it was horrible. But what I saw, he does need a bit of work. 100%. I wouldn't play him in the NHL yet. Yeah, I mean, listen, he could surprise when camp comes around. He could when the regular camp comes around. But I think he's going to go back. Harry also says Evans or Paling have that third line C on lock. Perreault is left wing for us, most likely. See, he agrees. Ellen agrees. No. We don't doubt this, Ellen, that Perreault is a good player and very underrated, but he's not.
But he's not third line center.
They didn't bring him here to play center. Maybe like a game or two in an emergency because everyone's hurt. Yeah, but I don't know. I just don't know. Hey, we got a special guest here. Hey, Hockey Junkie, how's it going? One day he's going to be on the show here. Let's see what he said. Extremely hot take. If Caulfield doesn't pick up right where he left off with Suzuki and Toffoli, who knows? Maybe Caulfield plays on the second line with Devo and Drouin, and Guhle gets first line minutes. Well, I beat you to that because when I did my lineup, my last one, I put that as a possibility. I gave my list of how I could see maybe Devo's, I think it was in the Devo, no, it was the lineup, right? Video? Yeah. So I thought Caulfield, if they don't trust him to play first line right away, or it doesn't work out right away or something. I said that already. Yeah, too. So I agree with you there. I could see that possibly happening. But I still think they start out that way. That's how I think.
No, I agree.
Wouldn't that be something? I'm okay if Caulfield is second line. If that's how it works out. Still want to make sure that chemistry, is there.
Yeah, I mean, you got to roll with that chemistry, I think, starting off. I don't see how you don't.
You got to try it. That's for sure.
100%.
Hey, Jack Newell. It's been a while, man. Luca, did you guys watch? I watched it. Guhle really solid. Norlander, rough defensively, but beauty as far as it was Gino and an apple too. What's a Gino?
It's a goal in it. He's talking a goal in it.
Oh, Gino's a goal now? Okay, sorry. Didn't know that. Sorry. You young guys. Right hand RHP. Who's RHP?
I actually saw this. I guess Harvey Pinard has actually been really impressive.
Oh, that's who it is. My guy. And I didn't know who
Raphael Harvey Pinard.
I liked Harvey. Harvey Pinard almost tied up the game. At 4 with like 5 seconds left. He jumped on a open puck in front of the net, made the shot, and the Senators goalie just slid over. It was a really nice save. But yeah, I like Pinard. I think Pinard's got a shot this year to see the team, to see the big show. I don't know for how long or permanent or whatever. I'm not saying that, but I think we'll see him in a Habs uniform for at least a cup of coffee this year. It's funny. I did wondering who the hell is this RHP?
I picked up on it right away too. He's your guy.
Yeah, that's what are you gonna do?
No, I've heard he's been very impressive in camp. Like a lot of guys, like a lot of people are starting to like him.
Well, he's 22, so he's one of the older guys there. So
yeah,
his time's coming to make it or not. It's coming. Excuse me. Dixon says, I think Caulfield gets 25 this year, 50 points. Yeah, very similar to what I've got him at. Because I adjusted. I know first time I put a prediction for him was 21 goals, and I adjusted it up to 25 and possibly 25 plus. But I don't know. Beauty by Trudeau. I know Justin came out and he put some skates on and no relation. Yeah, you got to be Canadian for that one. And maybe you got to be like a liberal voter to get that or to appreciate that one. Joshua is sneaky fast. Yeah, I noticed him out there. Harry says, "Yeah, we're a little bit laid back tonight. Eh? I could see Norlander and Harvey Pinard get a few games near the end of the year if we're either really in the playoffs or out of it and want to play our youngins for some experience, or and also I gotta shake this. Also, injuries could play a big part in anything like that as well, right? But yeah, I think
right.
I think we'll I think we'll see them up at some point. Junkie getting some love. Trudeau did have a nice game too. Yeah, Trudeau was noticeable. And now we're at the bottom of this. Let me see what I got. Anything interesting? Oh, I forgot to put that interesting thing I wanted to show. I forgot to put it in here. Matt, you're quiet. What's up?
I got to watch the highlights of the rookie game. Like I said, I didn't get a chance to see it live, but
you got to start scoring that Coke again because I don't know. I just don't have that. No, not that Matt ever did that. This is a total joke on my part. Matt's mom is watching. All right, just spiced it up a little bit. Who was the goalie for Montreal? I don't know. Joe Verbeek. I don't know who he is. They drafted him. I don't know what year, but I don't know much about him. But I believe he's a drafted goalie. His name is Joe Verbeek. VRBETC, I think, or TIC.
How did he look?
No, he was okay. I mean, he made some nice saves, and I didn't see all the goals against because some of it I was just listening to. I was doing stuff and I was listening, and yes, I didn't see everything, but I thought he was okay. I want to see Alexis Gravel. I think that was a good invitee. And I think a kid like Alexis Gravel could get a contract, minor league contract, but I think he could be in the system. So I'm interested. I think on Monday he'll be playing. Or I don't know because they got 3 goalies there, and this Verbeek, he played the whole game, and they got the one other gap. So I don't know who'll play. They might play their own draft pick, but I don't know. I would play the guy you invited to camp.
Right? That would make sense.
You'd think anyway. Let's see. Guhle stood his ground. Well, Goule's a big guy.
He is. He's got some serious size to him.
Yeah, Goule's going to be a good one. Goule's going to be a good one. Like I saw somebody say this, and I kind of agree. I think Goule's I think he's a guy that you could say he's going to make it. Whereas Norlander is still, his defense got to come around a little bit. He definitely has the offense, but Guhle I could see making it for sure because he's got an all-around game. Norlander does either make the team or go back to the not KHL, the SHL.
It's the SHL,
League. It's the Swedish Hockey League. That's his contract. His contract with that team. They're allowing him if he makes the big team, but he has to go back if he doesn't. Luca, they had the power play in the 1-3-1 with Norlander QBing, Mishak and Braden Point bumper, in the Braden Point bumper, and 2 trigger guys. So maybe the Habs will do it too. Petrie QB, Suzuki bumper, Hoffman and Suzuki one-timers, and Andy in front. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what you're going to see. I kind of hope. And, you got to think that the rookies are playing that. They're probably what the big team is going to be pretty much doing, right? Anyway, it's going to be a new look power play, I would think. It's not – there's no Weber to throw the puck to. So that's something. You know what's funny? I saw – speaking of Weber, a segue. I think it was Hockey Inside Out, which I don't usually watch them. And I think this is the reason why. Or either we're wrong, because I had heard that, and I think it was from a good writer anyway, that Weber's going to hang around the team all year. He's going to be part of the team and travel with them, and maybe not for every single game or whatever, but. And then these guys were talking about how he's going to be enjoying his time at home with his kids and healing up, and how the team will miss him. There's a disconnect somewhere. I don't know if it's them or if it's us. But I know I heard this about Weber. So anybody confirm that with me? Let's see. Just signed up to Twitch to get the next rookie game on the Habs. Is that where they're doing it, on Twitch? Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I have Twitch, so I will get it. I will watch it. I'll try anyways on Monday to watch it. I don't know if I will, but I try. Guhle is great skater too, smooth like Petrie. Yeah, I like this one. Yeah, no, seriously, this is a good. It was a good draft pick. I liked the pick when it happened, and I know a lot of people didn't. But I think there's a lot of people that didn't like it that are turned around on him. Matt, how were you when you heard Guhle for the pick? Whoa.
I was happy with it. I mean, he had size. He's a good, good defensive prospect. I didn't know, how quick he would develop, but I mean, I was happy with it. I had no complaints.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have turned around on it too. I think for sure. Guhle cleared the net beautifully and looked like a man amongst boys. Only slight weakness is mobility. Yeah, and remember, Guhle's still only 19, so he's not one of the oldest. Although he kind of looked like he was one of the oldest out there. And I'm not sure, but did he have the captain? Who had captain for Montreal? I didn't see. I think I thought it was him. I don't get how people can say Guhle is trash when he hasn't even played an NHL game yet. Plus, with how good he looked today, he'll be impressing a lot of people soon. Yeah, I think in camp, you're going to see people turn around on him if you haven't already. I think. How can people say that he's trash? He hasn't played an NHL game? Like, really? Yeah. Anything that in the last few years that you've seen hasn't given you any answer to that? Harvey Picard was Picard. It's not Star Trek. Harvey Pinard was captain. Okay, which makes sense. He was a captain of his junior team, so that makes sense. And I didn't notice the C on his shirt. Only way the Guhle pick is bad is if Mercer becomes a 30-goal guy and Guhle becomes a third pair guy. D. Yeah, I mean, look, if he's not top four, yeah, you could say that. If Guhle is top four when he makes it, I think it was good. People were bitching. We had so many defense prospects already. Yeah, but when you get a guy like this, who's going to be more than likely a really fast riser, captain of the World Junior team, I think, just a real leader, a guy that has an all-around game, you got to kind of go for it.
The size, too.
You got to go for best player available. Yeah, and the size. You got to go for best player available.
It's never a bad idea to add a big boy on the back end.
Because I think in this pick, they went – you could dispute that if you don't think he was the best. But I think they went for best player available. They deemed him to be the best player available. That's what and if you're saying that they had an abundance of defense, well, it kind of proves that out then. Captain Harvey Picard. I like that. Yeah, I watch I'm watching Star Trek Picard, so yeah, that works. Hey, Junkie, yeah, me too. And when they drafted him, I remember when they drafted, I was reading either online or somewhere. I wanted to say in the paper. I don't remember the last time I read the paper for sports. So I was reading that they got this guy in the 7th round. And I went, wow. First of all, how is he still available in the 7th round? That was my first thought. And I thought, that's a good pick. I mentioned it when I did the first video about it, and said this is a kid to watch. And so far, he's lived up to it. He's going to be like a little bit bigger. He's not horribly bigger. Or is he bigger than Gallagher? I don't know. I think Pinard.
Gallagher's 5'9".
Yeah, he might be an inch or so bigger than Gallagher, but he's the same kind of player. Smart, can score, plays that energy type of and type of game that Gallagher does. Yeah, okay, that answered that. No, that's not for me. Yeah, that's what they say. Brendan Gallagher too. And then you also got Anderson like that. Got a few guys like that. I had not heard this. Anybody hear this? 2 Habs players got COVID.
No idea.
Which 2? I have not heard this. Considering nobody else has mentioned this, it's odd that only one person knows this. Semino was also good today. His passing and vision were on display. Yeah, I noticed Semino out there. There isn't anything wrong with having lots of good D. They can always be traded for a top player up front you need later on. Of course. Definitely. Hockey Junkie, never heard that one either about COVID. Considering
I have no idea.
Considering both of us kind of need to be scanning the headlines constantly to see what's going on. Yeah, I don't know. Although today, I have to admit, I was editing all day and stuff. I didn't really spend a lot of time on Twitter. So
I was at a birthday party.
So I don't know. Tard the D. Oop, there it is. Tard the D. Harry's the culprit with the Tard. Nah, you didn't really get us, Matt. Sorry. We kind of got you back. Kind of. Don't worry about it. Born to be a Hab. Matt says he got us all on that, but he didn't really. Any positive test will be big news fast and would be all over your feeds fast. No, 100%. There's no way that happened. Anyways, he's admitting he's just trying to pulling our chains there. 34 people. Thumbs up if it's kind of boring tonight. I have to admit, I'm kind of feeling like I'm boring tonight. So if you think I'm boring tonight, come to Montreal. Just come over and slap me in the face. Wake me up a little bit. Do that. Then you can head back home. That might work. The magic juice isn't working tonight. And it's because, you know what? It's not Rockstar and it's not Monster. This is G Fuel. It doesn't work as well. See? All you G Fuel fans. Nope. It doesn't have the caffeine and it doesn't do the job. Well, Junkie, I appreciate that. I'm always my own worst critic, but I don't know. I'm just feeling a little. Well, I mean, because it's very hard for me to live up to Matt's excitement because Matt he's full of excitement, and I can't live up to that. So Matt, stop showing me up, man.
Holy! I was looking at something about the rookie thing, the rookie game.
I say that kind of stuff.
Vatic 6'6". Holy shit!
He's big. I say this stuff to Matt because I like to hear him get get flustered because he thinks I'm serious. Well, I am serious though.
I didn't know it was that big. Holy crap!
Too energetic. Yeah, I remember we drafted somebody that big. I didn't remember who it was.
6'6", 200 pounds in between the pipes. Jesus, man! If he can develop his game, no one's gonna score.
Well, that's not always true.
But you know what I mean.
I really hope Bergie ends up letting Chiarot walk to free agency after this year. Dude's a pylon and doesn't deserve to wear the Habs logo. Yeah, we were talking about this, I think Wednesday, eh? Wednesday?
Yeah.
I think Wednesday, man. It depends on, but I kind of think, I think if they're in the running for the playoffs and all that, no, they're not just going to let them. Well, yeah, I guess that is what I'm saying. They're going to let him walk. They're not going to move him at the deadline. They'll let him walk into free agency. Or if they're not, they're going to move him at the deadline. I kind of suspect. Because, I mean, he's the one, you're not going to move Edmondson, who's got contract, and Savard, who's got contract. You don't want to move them at that point.
I think that both of them are better than Chiarot anyway. So.
And, yeah, by Harry's post, I think he thinks that too. Without a doubt, I'm sure Harry thinks that too.
No, but I would agree with that. I think Edmondson and Savard are much better stay-home guys.
Harry, he woke up finally. Yeah. I need to get to Montreal this year for a game. I live in Midland, Ontario. Well, imagine you'll be able to do that now. I know they're limited as far as 7,500, I think, at least to start the season. I don't know if they'll change that during the season. And must be vaxxed and must have the passport to get in here. That's the things you'll need.
Did they lift travel between provinces yet, or is it still kind of strict?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know the answer to that.
I know, for me, I can go up and down whenever I want. It's fine.
I thought they had, but maybe they didn't. I don't know. Jeff usually knows that stuff, and Jeff is not here. Surprise, surprise. I thought the usual was crack. Oh, no. That's before the show. During the show, no, it's Monster or Rockstar. But before the show, all the crack I can get.
But yeah, no, here I can go into Canada when there's no restriction between the US and Canada. I can go up and down whenever I want.
But there is restriction if you're coming here to get crack.
Well, right.
Yeah, so just to make sure. Just because I don't want to do something.
Me and my buddies want to do a road trip to Montreal and go to the Bell Center.
You want to do a road trip to get crack?
Not to get crack. Well, I mean, maybe.
I'm probably going to talk about crack a lot because I'm kind of channeling the late Norm Macdonald tonight. I think I'm just feeling it.
Yeah,
that's what he would just been talking about crack all night.
No, we've talked about wanting to get to the Bell Center, so
yeah.
Hopefully, if capacity gets up, we'll try to make a trip up. I
live in Montreal. I'd like to get to the Bell Center too.
Yeah,
and I live here, so okay. His height didn't help Verbetic today. He looked below average. Yeah, I'm not going to judge. Maybe I wasn't judging. He looked okay to me, but I didn't give him high praise.
It's their first game back on the ice for a lot of them. They're going to be rusty. It's just one game. I wouldn't.
Yeah, and it's his first. It's his first professional. I think he was drafted last draft, or maybe the one before that.
Right. But yeah, exactly.
Year, who knows how many games he played last year? Some of them hadn't played last year. Didn't play at all last year. So
that's what I mean. And goalies usually take the longest to develop. But like I said, I mean, if he can really develop the skills, to go with that height, he's gonna be good.
One of the announcers said he kind of reminded him of Ken Dryden, tall and lanky. And someone said, but Ken Dryden's 75 years old. He doesn't think he reminds you of Ken Dryden. That's how bad the broadcast was. I don't know where I was. I'm a little upset. I asked a girl out for a date, and she said yes, and then today was the date, and she can't make it. With Rick on, this will help me. Oh, boy. Well, I feel bad. Sorry to hear that. I can guarantee you, if I'm your date tonight, you are going to do much better with her. Just guarantee you that. He's going nowhere. I'm getting off to another comment. Rick, did you get to go watch many Habs games in person? No, I haven't really been in a long time. So the answer to that is no. One of the reasons is because it's kind of freaking expensive to go.
So, I was gonna say, I don't know what they charge for tickets at the Bell Center, but even in Boston, depending on the Habs, when the Habs come to town, the tickets I usually sit at are $300 a piece, something like that.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's not cheap. Definitely not cheap. Chiarot is a physical force in the playoffs, the kind of guy you go after for the deadline. So he stays if we are in the hunt. Oh, we're in the hunt. He's not going anywhere. And saying that, right? So there'll be teams interested in him at the deadline if we're not in the hunt, right? Teams that are, going to make the playoffs, they're going to look for a guy like. So yeah, we hold on to him or move him at the deadline depending on the situation. That's what I think. Matt and I have talked about it before. That was the consensus that we came to.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly going to Montreal Boston game in December. So hyped over it. The first hockey game in person. It'll be fun, regardless of Habs winning or destroying the Beast. Hey, listen, first game in person. Yeah, I mean, what?
That's awesome.
Live in the moment. That's all I could tell you. Don't get overwhelmed. Try to live in the moment. Take it all in, soak it all up, and enjoy. Because it's your first game, so it's a very special game. I don't know. I don't think I remember my first game because I was I'll get my words. They'll come out eventually. I was a big Tony Esposito fan for no reason other than I suspect that I had seen a game when I was pretty young because he played here in 68, 69. So, I mean, I was 5 or 6 when I might have seen him. And I suspect that's why. So that probably was the first game that I don't fully remember. But the first one I remember was not long after, because I think it was either 69 or 70. And I saw I don't know if they were the California Golden Seals or they were the Oakland Seals at the time, but I saw them. Gump Worsley and Nets. And I'll never forget because my brother and I, was the 60s and 70s, right? So long hair was everywhere. And he had the shortest hair I think I had ever seen in my life at that point. And we were making fun of his hair because we were sitting right behind the net, Montreal's net, because we saw it twice. So, yeah.
That would have been at the Forum too, right?
That was at the old Forum, yep. Yes, it was. So that's the first game that I remember going to. And I imagine I've been to about 30-odd games in my life. I imagine somewhere around there. I used to go to about 5 games a year back in the 80s. So that would make for more, but it wasn't every year. But, But I used to go to more games in the 80s. Then I had kids, and that's it. I think since I had kids, I've gone to about 3 games. I feel we got one hell of a player from this year's draft. Who was in this year's draft? You're talking, that's Mishak. Is that Guhle? That's Guhle, right? The last No,
Guhle was what?
Who was our? Oh God, no! Wait a second. I'm not. If it's the first pick, we're not talking about him. We're just not. So
I'm trying to think of who else we took this year.
Don't expect us to be talking about that kid right now. I'm not saying down the road I won't, but not right now. Okay. I touched my mouse and it jumped to the bottom. Oh, because I wasn't far from the bottom. Have you seen Scheifele's billboard? Have you seen Scheifele's billboard? Mark Scheifele's billboard in Winnipeg about something about either stop signs or traffic lights, like obeying the
the speed limit.
Something like that. I don't know what it is, but yeah, like he's the one who should be talking about what that like. Yeah, it's kind of. But I've seen it. It's someone posted it on Twitter. Obviously, it was all over Twitter yesterday. I've seen them play in Montreal, Toronto, Buffalo, Glendale, and LA. My dream is a trip to see them crush the Bruins in Boston. Hey, you can go with Matt.
I usually go to both games when they're in town. I know the first game this year is like a few days before my birthday too. That'll be really fun.
So you'll definitely be going there, and then we'll be expecting in between period reports.
Sure.
Yep, we're gonna have to get those. Yep. Let's see. He's seen them in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different places. That's pretty cool. I have definitely never seen Montreal play anywhere but the Forum and the Bell Center. those are it. Never traveled anywhere to see them play, and I have never been to an NHL game anywhere else.
I think the first time I saw the Habs in town was when the Garden was actually the Fleet Center. So I was probably like 7. I was really young.
Born to be a Hab. I saw a picture of him with a Habs sweater, wearing a sweater. He was a big Habs fan. He was. I don't know the validity of this because I thought he was born and raised in Ottawa, which I think is what it is. Someone on Twitter wrote this, and I don't know if it's true, but saying he was born in Quebec City and raised in Quebec City. I don't believe that. He might have been born in Quebec City and raised in Ottawa, but he was a big Habs fan. So, yeah, and he loved hockey. Just very sad about Norm Macdonald.
Oh, yeah.
The weird thing is, I used to listen to this guy. I doing dishes. I put his videos on YouTube. I'd be listening. Like I listened to this guy a lot on YouTube in the last year, especially. And anyway, yeah, let's not be sad tonight.
Yeah, no, let's not be sad.
Let's get past.
What do you think of Zdeno Chara going to the Islanders?
I just heard about that maybe an hour before the stream. Well, it was where he was drafted, wasn't he? He was drafted. The first time I ever saw Chara, he was this big, huge goon on the Islanders. And who would have known that he'd have stayed that way his whole career? Wow. Yeah, I don't like Chara. So, the Islanders can have him. At least he's not coming here. What do you think of Montreal's bottom sex? We're not talking about sex here. Oh, 6. I'm sorry. I'm not talking about anal sex on, it would hurt my kidney. See? Anal sex would hurt my kidney. Perfect.
No, look, if Perreault's not at the second line center spot, they move Evans up and put Paling on.
It's gonna be Paling or Paquette.
Either Paling or Paquette at that center role, and then I'd say swap Drouin and Hoffman around. I think the bottom 6 is fine. And I love Lehkonen and Armia on the fourth line. I think that's absolutely fine. Perreault can't play center. I don't trust him at all. And his face-off percentage is not good.
No, Perreault, he's not a center. He's not a center. He's not a center anymore. This is something that's true. Sheffield still has 1 game to serve. They better not forget because I'm going to go down there and I'm going to take him out of the lineup myself.
Still can't believe they're using him in an ad to obey the speed
I should have downloaded that picture.
That's funny.
I really shouldn't. I didn't think about it, but I should have. Can we expect Drouin to rebound this season? We did tap a favor for Sergachev just like we did for New York with McDonough. This is okay. There's a lot of questions surrounding Drouin right now. Drouin was supposed to do an interview with a reporter named Chantal Maccabee on election night on the 20th, and it got canceled. No explanation. Just it was announced it got canceled. There was supposed to be an explanation coming out. I didn't hear any. There's still a lot of question marks surrounding him. I don't know. I've read stuff I don't know that he's still got problems, and I seen him out on the ice. He looks happy and good, and I don't know. There's just a lot of question marks swirling around Drouin. So, if he plays, yeah, you can expect a rebound season. If the truth is that everything's good right now, but this canceled interview is I don't know. It's beyond me what's going on there. But if everything's good and what I've seen him on the ice, a couple of highlights, and he's happy, and everybody around him says he's good, yeah, you got to expect he actually kind of has to have he needs a rebound season.
Definitely.
His value will be worth nothing. If it isn't already, his value will be worth less than nothing if this happens again this upcoming season.
100%.
Who's going to want to touch him?
Oh, 100%. And, if they put him on the second line, with his line mates, if he's fine, yeah. I mean, with his playmaking ability, you got to expect him to bounce back.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, it's the logical choice, really, because I mean, he's gonna have he'll have Dvorak and Gallagher to feed the puck to. It's not like he's gonna have trouble finding guys to pass to or anything like that. And he's pretty nifty with the puck when he makes passes. So
it's the logical choice if you know what you're talking about. No, but I mean, I think for some people it's not, but I think for a lot of people it makes sense. Does everybody trust Drouin right now? I don't think so, but they've got him. They're paying him $5.5 million. They got to do something with him. So you hope that you can make it work out, right? You're kind of stuck with the guy.
Yeah, because no one's gonna take him unless you get like I don't know.
Hey Franco,
2 pucks.
Yeah, a bag of pucks.
Maybe some stick tape.
Or as Louis C.K. used to say, a big bag of dicks. I didn't really say that. I was, the guy, he left. He already left the room. You can't see the door. That's why you didn't see the guy that said that. It wasn't me. Drive a truck. Oh, cool. Got held over on a Thursday night in Phoenix. Oh, that's why you went. And when it was in LA for a Saturday game. Well, that's like, to me, that's just luck. Those things happening, and you getting to see a game over there. I imagine in Phoenix, spur of the moment on a game night, you can get tickets. Right? I would think the same thing in Ottawa. Did you see in Ottawa, by the way? Okay, at the game today, this is kind of funny. Not a lot of people there, and at the end of the game, they gave. I guess they asked everybody who wanted to participate to be fan of the game. You get up, you do a little dance, right? So 2 kids, they won Habs shirts. So Habs fans, they had to pick Habs fans for game fan of the game.
That's great.
Tells you everything you need to know about Ottawa. I think Shamir's right. There's like 10 fans in Ottawa. If that. Missed the young Habs playing against the young Ottawa today. Heard they lost 3-2. Actually, they lost 4-3. Montreal was up 3-2 with about 5 minutes remaining, and then Ottawa 2 quick goals and 4-3. So yeah, it was. How do I want to put it? If I'd have known what the game was going to be like, I probably wouldn't have watched it. But it wasn't a great game by any means of the imagination. Nope. But it was nice to get a look at Norlander and get a look at a few of the guys. So.
Mm-hmm.
Hope Berge signed Tag, father of Todd.
Son of Todd.
Tag is like 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Or 19. How young is Todd that he's playing in the NHL? Let's see. Todd's only like 4 or 5 years old. That's pretty good. He's a big kid. Yeah, you got it wrong. He's Tyler is Tag's father. So Tyler Bertuzzi, the older player, is Tag's father, and Todd Bertuzzi is his cousin, I guess, right? Because I think Todd is Tyler's nephew. No, Todd is. You're right.
Todd Bertuzzi is Tag's dad.
Sorry, Todd is Tag's father, and Tyler is his cousin. I get them always mixed up. Son of a Bertuzzi, what do you want from me? Oh, I'm down there. Oopsie, I scrolled too far. Well, Berge signed. Oh, I did. We just did this. Oopsie. Joe Habs, I don't think anybody trusts him. I don't trust him necessarily. I don't think there's a choice, and he's got a lot of upside. Just will he hit it? I don't know. Hashid won. Whoops. Hadyan Hadyoff. heard unconfirmed the TV interview was canceled due to conflicts about TV broadcasting rights.
That could definitely be the case.
Yeah, I mean that could be. I don't know. It just seemed weird, and I didn't hear the explanation. So, I heard an explanation that it was bad, that something was wrong again with Drouin, but that explanation didn't make sense to me because I saw him on the ice, and he looked great. He looked happy. He looked great. So yeah, I guess I hope we'll get that Drouin that actually has a chance to have a good season. If he comes here with the right attitude and can keep they should put blinders on him, keep him focused, and hope for the best. Bring back KK already. That's the quickest I would have thought we'd see that at some point. I just didn't think before the season started that we're going to see bring back KK. Because KK ain't coming back, eh? He's just not, eh? Like, you got to take off, KK, like, take off KK, take off KK. There's too many A sounds. The game I went to in LA, Matthew Garon beat the Kings just after that LA traded for him. Yeah, but wait a second. I'm confused now. Did you see Montreal play LA? Or was because Matthew Garon played for a few teams. Did he play here? Garon did play here in Montreal, I think. It's before Matt's time, I think. I have a feeling.
It's before my time.
Because I'm not sure if he played. I think he played here. I'm not sure at this point. In the really shitty era, I think of the who's that? Andre Savard and then Pierre Gauthier era. That era. Pierre Gauthier was one of the worst. Right there with Irving Grundman as like the worst general managers. And I forgot somebody. I know. His son's coaching the minor. I know. The game I went to in LA, I like to repeat myself tonight. Tonight is repeat Saturday. I didn't tell everybody that, but it is. I'm going to repeat myself a lot. I'm going to repeat myself a lot because it's repeat Saturday night. It's repeat Saturday night. Right, Matt? Right, Matt?
Yes, Rick. Yes, Rick.
Like I sound like a bit like Foghorn Leghorn. Just a little bit. I don't have the southern accent, though. Let's see. Drouin Dvorak Gallagher sounds good to me. He'll be the creative passer, and they can both shoot and crash the net. Exactly. You got two guys that like to hang around the net in front. Gallagher anywhere, doesn't matter as long as it's around the net. And you got a guy that moves the puck and passes the puck well and all that. It's a natural combination, if you ask me. And Matt agrees. But see, if Matt doesn't agree, I beat him like hard. So, but only in places that don't show.
But no, I mean, we've talked about that. I think since Dvorak, since the trade happened, and since we kind of redid the lineup a little bit. But yeah, I mean, absolutely, that would be the ideal third line, or second line.
Imagine he paid $50 and $60 at game time, but that's what you got to do if you want to go to a game and you want to get cheap seats from the scalpers. You got to show up just after the game starts. Puck drops, go to the scalpers, see what they got. You'll get them at bargain basement prices. And it's the same thing with a concert. If you ever want to go to a concert cheap, just wait till the opening act starts. Go and hit up the scalpers for what they got, and you're going to get it for good prices. Now, that at least that's how it used to be. I don't know if it still is that way, but that's what people used to do. I used to be friends with the scalpers. My dad knew all the scalpers, so I knew all the tricks of the day, but still that's 15, 20 years ago now. Habs first-round picks were mostly duds in the past 10, 15 years, except for Sergachev, KK, Caulfield, and Guhle. Hopefully Poehling does well. Yeah, but, I mean, they usually get higher-end first-round picks, and that's why, right? How many 10 or under picks have they had in the last 20 years? Right? 2?
Right.
How many have they had under 10? 2 that I know of, 2 third round. Carey Price Said 20 years. So Carey Price,
KK.
That's 3. KK and
where was Guhle? Was Guhle under 10?
No, Galchenyuk.
Sergachev was. I think Sergachev. I think was 8th.
Yeah, so there's 4 because Galchenyuk also.
Yep.
3. So that's 4.
That was Guhle. I feel like Guhle was 9 or 10.
No, 16.
Oh, he was 16. Okay. And I think Caulfield, was right around, was like
15.
I think 15. Yeah, 15 or 16.
You're batting 0 right now. You're batting 0. Oh, you got Sergachev, so you got 1.
Yeah.
Bugging you. Yeah, I think that's it. 4, right? I think that's it. So it's not like it's not to say they had 4 under 10th, right? So 8 and under. It's not a lot, and the rest of them were in the high teens and the 20s. So, it's hit and miss. Have they been great for the drafting? No, I'm not. Definitely not. But and then of those 4, so Price was great. Galchenyuk, to me, a bust. Sergachev, good. KK, unknown still.
That Sergachev trade still bugs the ever-living hell out of me.
Well, it's going to bug it. Unless Drouin ever turns it around and becomes good, it's going to bug the hell out of everybody for the rest of the time. We're Habs fans. We never forget.
Right. No, and that's why, that's why I'm worried about Romanov, because I'm like, I want him to do well because I want to keep him, and I also know what happens when we trade Russian defensemen.
Okay, but he wasn't a first-round pick, so he's safe.
No, but he's still Russian, and he's still a defenseman.
True. Markov, Russian defenseman, did great.
Yeah.
Had a great career here. Habs first-round picks were most I doing it again. It's funny, people mention how the Habs first-round drafting is bad. I thought I was repeating myself again, but then go silent and refuse to mention how we draft in later rounds. Exactly. Because there are a lot of really good later round picks. I mean, Gallagher, Evans, 7th round pick. I don't know them all in my head, but there's some good later round picks that we have. So, yeah.
Apparently Harvey Pinard, too, if he pans out.
Well, again, but he hasn't hit yet, so it's not fair to say. But, I mean, if he does hit, he just said was 7th round pick. I think 201st overall was his number. KK's never coming back to Montreal. No, he's not coming back to Montreal. I doubt it. I mean, later in his career, maybe. I really went far ahead of myself. Hang on. Okay, there. Well, Montreal didn't over. Carolina did, but we did not. Joe Habs has a pro tryout Friday. Are they tarding you, though? I heard they were tarding you. Again, I like to repeat myself. Dvorak.
Yes, again.
To me, it'd be great. Oh, I did that, eh?
Yeah, you keep repeating yourself.
Da-dee-da. Wasn't Scalper that was retail at Box? Wow. Oh, that was the regular prices. Okay. Yeah, but it was a while ago, I guess.
I mean, yeah. I mean, my dad grew up in the 50s and 60s. It only cost him like a couple of bucks. Not even.
Oh, yeah. When I used to go to games, it was 20 30 bucks back in the 80s. That's all it was. It was affordable. Years ago.
Everybody do what Franco says.
Yes. Years ago, the Habs used to have training camp in Kentville, Nova Scotia. My father took me and my brother to watch them. I might have been only 5 or 6 at the time. I vaguely remember the pocket, that's Henri Richard and Dryden. That's cool, though. Now I'm trying to think now. Did I ever see Dryden play live? I don't know the answer to that. I honestly don't. I don't think I ever did. Wow. Never thought of that before. I don't think I ever saw Dryden live. The scalper trick is good, but I doubt there will be anything left with only 7. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not talking about this season necessarily because there is a limit. That's not what I mean. I'm just talking regular times. Price and Pac-Man turned out all right. Who's Pac-Man again? Who's Pac-Man? I see my co-host doesn't listen to me.
Well, no, I just looked this up because I think they're talking about Pacioretty, but Pacioretty was 22nd.
Oh, that's who they're talking about. You're right. It's Pacioretty.
Pacioretty was 22nd overall. He wasn't he wasn't a top, He didn't go in that spot we were talking about.
You know who I think of when you say Pac-Man as an athlete? What was that football player? Was it Pac-Man Jones? Pac-Man?
Yeah.
Was it Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that's from the days when I was doing football pools. So that's immediately what I thought of when you said that. I'm going, well, Pac-Man is a football player, but it's Pacioretty. I don't know, something. Look, when he was here, I liked Patch. I totally forgotten he was even a Hab ever for some reason.
I love Pacioretty.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something that I think his stint as captain kind of turned me off to him. He shouldn't have been a captain. No. He should have kept himself out of that and just played his game. And it turned me off to him. I think that's it. Now we're in and we're at it. We're dried up on comments. So it's odd. I wonder where everybody is tonight. Or are we that bad tonight? I admit it's on me. Not enough drugs. This drug not good enough tonight. It's weird. What a difference. Energy drinks. Some are good, some aren't. I think Matt needs one tonight too.
Probably right.
There will be full crowds sometime this year. I hope. I'm not sold on that. Not as long as there's so many of your namesake, the first part of your namesake. As long as there's so many of those, yeah, I don't know about that, right?
The U.S. will be all full capacity, but yeah, I have no idea.
U.S. doesn't give a shit. U.S. they don't give a shit. Their governors in those states don't give a shit whether you live or die. If you go see a hockey game and 3 days later you died of COVID, they don't care. All they care about is you paid your tax money to get into the freaking game. So, whatever. I don't want to get triggered on this shit. Because I can be. I'm extremely triggered these days. Should we bring back Subban? Speaking of being triggered. When are we ever going to give up on that? Subban. I don't think Subban's coming back here. And listen, you know what? He's still making $9 million this season. So if you want to see Subban, talk about it next season because maybe, that's a maybe. But Subban coming back to Montreal while Marc Bergevin is the GM, not happening, in my opinion.
No, I agree.
Have a beer. I don't have any beer, man. But beer won't wake me up. That's for during the season for the games. I haven't had a beer since I don't remember the last one I had for what game. Anyway, but during the season, I like watching Subban. I like soup. That's the Lindros brothers. That's a local comedian joke, and I've never forgotten it. Every time I eat soup, I think of the two Lindros brothers after all their concussions, and they're at home at their mom's house, and their mom brings them a bowl of soup each. And they said, "Thanks, Mom. I like soup." That's an old joke from a local comedian, Joey Elias. And I've never forgotten it. It might be his best joke, but yeah. And maybe that's not a nice thing. I don't know. Anyway, I always remember that. No, we're not going to talk about that protesting and all that garbage. Division is tight. Where do you see yourselves placing? Good question.
Good to see you, Cam, my man.
You know what? I'm not going to be this. I guess people would say Habs apologist. I'm going to say it wouldn't surprise me if they finish as low as 6 or as high as 4. That's how I'd say they're somewhere between 4 and 6. And maybe when the season is being played and then we get closer, I'll give you a better estimation. But I mean, I think they can make the playoffs, and I think they can finish outside the playoffs too.
Yeah, I think they'll be fighting for that last wild card spot or a wild card spot. But yeah, I mean, I can conceivably see 4 or 5, one of those two, maybe 6.
Yeah, I mean, it could be 6, 4, 5, 6. I think it's somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Could they finish in 3rd? Sure, they could. They could have a great season, and other teams crap out, and injuries play a big part.
Right.
But I mean, you got to figure they're going to be in the middle of that pack.
Right. It's tough to tell until hockey starts being played, and we kind of see how the team gels.
Is it going to Buffalo for a game? Is that really a game though? Like, is that like the same thing? I don't know.
They'll probably pay you to go see a Sabres game.
Maybe you never know. I think maybe if you email the Sabres management, you might be able to negotiate that. I'll buy some beer. You give me the tickets. We're all good. I'm not going because they asked for the shot proof. That's BS. Well, to each his own. I can go because guess what? I got that proof. So, yeah, it's the choice I made. I did make a choice, and that was my choice to do. See how it is a choice? Because I made a choice because nobody came here to do it to me without me making that choice. So it ain't BS to me. The Kidney Kid might be a good pick. His hometown is not far from me, Enfield, Nova Scotia. I hear really good stuff about this guy. My only worry is it's another small player, but not all small players are made the same. And you hear really good stuff about Riley Kidney. Definitely do. He had a good game. I thought he had a good game from what I saw him. Is Florida that good? Florida shocked me last year. I know that. I think Florida, if they get the goaltending,
yeah, that's what if the goaltending shows up, yeah, I mean they absolutely can be that good.
Yeah, I think, but just like it's a good point because there's a question mark there, right? So to say where did Montreal fit in, well, doesn't mean that the teams that we figure will come in ahead of Montreal, they're not locked into that, right? So. But yeah, I mean, Florida's a good team, and there's question marks.
Right.
If Dvorak scores before KK in the Bell Center or shows back up, when the two face each other, should we thank KK like what Boston did with Kessel when Sagan scored? Oh, I think without a doubt, KK's going to hear about it. Either way, the difference between the Habs making or missing is if playoff Price shows up during the regular season. We have scores now. It's up to him. Yeah, no, that's a really good point, Franco. I've made this point as well, right? It's going to be a big difference if Price plays a little better than regular season Price last year. That's going to be huge. So hopefully that this last playoff performance and run kind of just gets his juices flowing again for the regular season too, because it's going to make a big difference. Scoring, some more scoring, power play, and Price going to make a huge difference for their chances. Unlike a Leafs fan, I'm also unlike a Leafs fan in that I'm very logical and I think straight. So yeah, I'm unlike a Leafs fan as well. It is a guaranteed win. I even totally lost the point. What's a guaranteed win? Someone help me out here. No? Matt's lost.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Do you think Romanov will play well enough to play a bigger role on defense and offense? I first of all, I really hate your avatar. I'm not shy to say that, but hey, to each his own. Let me get my thoughts again. I think it's natural in his progression, right? If you believe Romanov's a good defenseman or will be and have a good career, which I do, then I think it's natural to his progression, and I hope he doesn't have a sophomore slump. And I'd like to see him at least if he doesn't start on that second line, I hope at some point he's on that second line before the end of the season. Like, I really don't like your avatar. I don't mind saying that. It's okay. You're all allowed to vote the way you want. That's what democracy is all about, and that is the truth. Rick Roller. Oh, that's not for me. KK is a winger now. Yep. But listen, that in itself is not unusual either, right? How many centers have started out on the wing? And if you want to answer that, we have one right here in Montreal recently, more than one, I'm sure. Nick Suzuki started out on the wing half a season, if not more. So I don't think that's a problem. And he could end up a winger. Maybe that's where his calling is. Who knows? But right now, over in Carolina, there's too much talent ahead of him on at center. I don't see how he could play center there right now. Playing in again, I don't know what he's talking about here. Unlike a Leafs fan, guaranteed to win. Playing in Buffalo. Those were his last two comments. I don't know what you're talking about. Playing in Buffalo. I'm gonna smoke a little more, and maybe I'll be able to tell you after that. Will the Leafs make the playoffs? You know what? Honestly, and this isn't because I don't like the Leafs at all. I think the Leafs are going to be a bubble team as well. I think the Leafs are going to struggle to make the playoffs like Montreal will. So that's my hot take. Sure, everyone's going to laugh at me for that one. But guess what? We won't know till the end of next season. And I think I'm going to have the last laugh. Matt, at least answer that question for him. Come on. I at least answer one.
I was waiting for you to finish talking. No, I think they'll get in. Because they're gonna put up points in the regular season. That's what they do. Unless something catastrophic happens or something within the team, the chemistry, whatever, there's some sort of disconnect. That's the only
normal. I mean, like a normal season. Yeah.
Then maybe I could see them struggling, but I think just they've shown the regular season they can do it, but it really means nothing when you can't win a playoff series. So.
I am not in total disagreement with what you just said. I'm not. The reason I say what I do about it is I have a feeling, and this is I guess a hunch, that what happened last season is going to affect them this year. And the fact that this team and this fan base has gone out and they backed this documentary to celebrate their mediocrity tells you all you need to know about that team. And that's my hot take. They're not going to do as well as people think. Could I be wrong? Well, of course I could be wrong. But that's my hot take. And I swear, it's not because I hate the Leafs. It's not. It's really, that's really how I feel. Please believe me. It's really how I feel. Where am I? I'm lost. There shouldn't be discrimination for a personal health choice. You guys know that. Just because you have it doesn't mean you can't be against segregation. I'm going to say one last thing on this subject and we're not going to talk about it anymore. Okay? If you really want to push me to how I feel, I think you're all a bunch of drama queens. Wear a mask, put a needle in your arm, and shut the fuck up. I don't need to talk about this anymore, and I wish this whole goddamn thing would be over or so we can move on, but we won't because of that. You pushed me to my answer. There you are. That's how I feel. Let's move on now.
Yep. No, 100%. Keep the political talk off the channel. We're a sports channel. We're a hockey channel.
You don't want to hear that, right? Because I know you
Right.
guys don't want to hear what I just said. So don't push me to having to say it. And we won't talk about it anymore. But hey, and Rick Roller, hey, look, I have nothing against you. I hope you don't have against me. I didn't really mean to say shut the fuck. I'm sorry. I don't mean it, you know what I'm saying. But it's how I feel. And sure, you could have your feeling about it. We live in a country that we're allowed to feel how we want. They probably have to trade Riley by the deadline. Why? Because contract? Why would that be?
Is he in a contract year?
Well, okay. First of all, I think he's hurt. He got hurt early and they were not even in preseason or in training camp yet. And I was hearing that he got hurt in their first practice or something like that. Larry, don't be sorry about your avatar. Don't. You didn't have to change it for me. I was just giving you my opinion. It's your business. You should not do that because I said what I said. I'm sorry. I'm the one who's sorry about it. I don't want to be pushing my thing on everybody. But if I'm pushed to ask you my opinion, I'm going to give it at some point. So, and now I think I'm going to try to shut up about this. You know the easiest way for me to shut up about something? I stick one of those in my mouth. Try to shut up. All right. The Leafs curse is real. Well, they'll never. I mean, winning a playoff series or a cup, that's a real curse. No, listen. When I said about the Leafs, about them not. I mean, this is a gut feeling I have. I really think that this team, they got a brave face on about last year, and I just think the wrong thing for them to have done was to put that documentary out, and all their fans on Twitter. I don't know why they're supporting that. And they're still saying, no, we're going to win the cup next year. Like they haven't learned yet. So I think they're in for some hurt this year. We're tired of hearing about, oh, yeah. Well, we're not going to hear about it anymore. Don't worry. Riley is UFA at the end. Oh, that's true. He's a UFA.
Yeah, that's why I was asking. Yeah, I thought he was in a contract here, but I wasn't 100% sure.
Can you imagine if they've got to lose Riley because of contract?
I mean, they don't have money.
They don't have the money.
What happens when you pay?
That's when Dubas is going to have to pay the price for that.
$50 million to 3 people, 4 people.
Well, he's going to have to pay the price for that then, Dubas, at that point. Is that really smart, though? I mean, drop one of those 3 guys. Hey, listen, they just have to wait it out. Matthews, whenever his contract's done, he's out of there. Just wait him out. I can't see Matthews re-signing there. No way.
Hey,
what
I saw? Can't find playoff success? No way.
You know what I saw? Really funny, a meme, a Leafs meme. It showed Austin Matthews, phase 1, when he was a rookie. Phase 2, a little older. Phase 3, looking a little older. Phase 4, and they put Phil Kessel. A picture of Phil Kessel, and they look kind of similar in the picture, and it's something to do with the Leafs. I can't remember. I should have actually remembered it, but it was a really cool meme. I thought it was really funny. I like anything that pokes fun at Austin Matthews. As you can tell, I don't like Austin Matthews. If you didn't know that already, what do you think will be the other line mate for Suzuki and Caulfield?
Toffoli.
Yeah, I think it's going to be
Toffoli. Fired anyway, Toffoli. Can't break up the chemistry that line has.
Yeah, I think even you take a look at that lineup that we had up there, and it's so different than anything I had, and yet even with all their differences, they're still also Toffoli, Suzuki, and Caulfield. I think most of the experts have that, and I think you got to try it anyway. I think you got to try it. The one thing, though, I will say, and I've said this a couple of times. The one thing I learned about Ducharme, or like early on when he first was hired, apparently he doesn't necessarily like a full line and be consistent always that. He likes pairs, though. He likes a center and a winger, and then he'll mix and match the other side. So, In this case, I would think it's going to be Caulfield Suzuki as his pair. And I could definitely see, Toffoli, it could be an up and down thing, right? The chemistry isn't constant, so he could shift guys in and out. I think that's his style. If anybody knows Ducharme better than I do, which could be anybody, let me know if you agree with that, because that's what I heard. I think it was on like TSN 690 on Melnick or something like that. They were talking about it. And so, like I said, I don't know the coach that well, but that would make sense here. And maybe that's the reason why they've got so many good quality wingers right now, is they do plan to kind of move guys around a bit and in different situations and different matchups, So I wouldn't be surprised to see that. So it might not be just written in stone. Even that Drouin would be on second line with Devo. It might be something they move around. And maybe Drouin and Devo could be the pair, and they match the other wing. So,
yeah,
there's my expertise in a nutshell. Believe me, it's a small nutshell, not a big one. What do you think will be the other line? Jesus, am I doing this like all night or what?
Oh, yeah, you are.
I guess I am. Oh, one of those nights. Signing Tavares is probably one of their biggest mistakes. Yeah. Excuse me. It was. Excuse me, guys. The Islanders don't miss him. I really wanted Tavares here. I'm so happy Montreal didn't. I'm so happy Tavares used Montreal and didn't really want to meet with Montreal, because he didn't. And they got him. I'm just happy in the long run. I should remember to shake this first. So, yeah, I'm not a Tavares fan. But I'll tell you the truth, when the first talk was out there, yeah, I was kind of hoping Montreal would get Tavares. I thought he was what we needed.
Yeah, no, I was in that same boat. I mean, for that money, though, no.
Well, in the end, no. Yeah, for the money, there's no way Montreal would have done that, number one. And I would have definitely turned off to Tavares at that point, too. But hey, listen, he slept in Maple Leaf pajamas when he was a kid, so of course he was signing with Toronto. Mm. Hey, Jay Bats, how's it going, buddy? I want Mika Zibanejad. He's on last year of contract with Rangers. Problem again is money with Zibanejad. He's going to be making some good money, I would think. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, no, and I agree with him, though. I would love to see Mika Zibanejad in a Habs uniform, but yeah, I mean, it's going to depend on the price tag.
So would I, but I think if that move was going to happen, well, at least for this year, it would have happened already. But I know he's talking for next year. So that means signing him as a UFA. I mean, that year you're talking about, he's going to be commanding some good money, I would think. Marner is the only one they can trade, but the dollar limits any return for him. Yeah, I think, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised because, Toronto likes to shoot themselves in the foot a lot. I could see them moving Marner after this season, especially if things go bad, and then Matthews walking out 2 years later after his contract's done. So, and they're left with Captain John at the end of his career. So, yeah. So we had a surprising and exceptional past year. Now we have lost many soldiers and acquired new scoring pieces. The Habs will shine. Go Habs, go. Look, I think that's a good possibility, Franco. I mean, it's still got to be played out on the ice, but I think there's a lot of potential for Montreal to be better than we think. And I don't think there's as much potential for them to be a lot worse than we think, right? Because I don't think anyone's overvaluating them or what's the word I'm looking for? There's a word. So I think more likely people are undervaluating them, and there's a lot of potential for them to actually be better. So, yeah. So I think it's good. I think they will shine. But, again, it has to be played out on the ice. Habs will be really good this year. Romanov needs to have more ice time. I think he's going to get – I don't know about more ice time necessarily, but I want to see him not have less. Look, second year, I could see him playing a lot. very similar kind of ice time and games that he did last year, maybe a little bit more, but I can see it being similar in his second year. But I hope he'll prove through the year that he'll gain more and more. And like I said, I hope if he starts on the third pairing that he'll end up on that second pairing by the end of the year. Okay. I'm not sure who did what in the past. Should the Habs give a PTO to Galchenyuk, Demers, and Vatanen? Galchenyuk, listen, on a PTO, I guess. I don't know why. Why would you want to for Galchenyuk? Demers, yeah, Demers could be a possibility. Vatanen, I guess. No harm really in the PTO, but like, why tell Galchenyuk? Anybody really think Galchenyuk turned it around all of a sudden? Oh, look, he's back to being good. I don't think so. So, no, for me, Galchenyuk's a laugh. Leafs suck after Tavares. Well spoken. I think Caulfield, Suzuki, and Toffoli should play together most of the time for the sake of offensive continuity. Well, I think that's why you got to start that way and see if that's still there and then go from there. Franco, good Sicilian cannoli. Good cannoli. Would love that right now. Must be smiking the good shit. Smoking. Only? Why would you want to do anything else? No team lost to a 42-year-old Zamboni driver that works for them, like the Leafs. I wonder if they'll ever live that one down. I don't think so.
Oh, Jesus, no.
I don't think so. Marner reminds me of Seguin a bit. When Seguin left Boston, it helped him. Marner's a good hockey player. Marner is a good hockey player. I would have Marner. I think so. Marner, I mean, I'm not saying Drouin is as good as Marner, but I mean, if you like Marner and you don't see Drouin as being that guy that we're talking about for that second line, I think you're missing the boat there because he's not as good as Marner, but he's a player along that line, right? Good passer, playmaker.
Also makes about half as much.
And he makes half as much. That's true. I think Habs will try to bring Romanov along slowly to protect him and build his confidence. Yeah, it wouldn't be surprising. I don't know if that's the wrong. I mean, is that the wrong way to do it? I don't think so. Right? Why? The only thing I don't like is I don't really like Chiarot Savard as a pairing, and I know they're going to do it. I just don't like it. But I know they're going to do it.
Like I said, I think it should be Romanov Savard.
Yeah, but they're not going to do that. To start, it's going to be Chiarot and Savard. And if you don't believe me, we're going to find out in less than a month. Galchenyuk is a good player. I think he just listens to his father way too much and not let him play his game. Okay, but isn't that reason enough not to want him? Because that's not going to change if they sign him. So Galchenyuk could have been a good player if not for his father. So yeah, so you're giving your reason not to have him come here. If you ask me. Habs fans never let their dumb fans live anything down. Just keep adding to the list. Stupid is as stupid does. I take Chucky just for depth. Make him know it's his last chance.
I don't know.
The reason I laugh at that is only this. I wonder he's been on 6 teams in the last 2 years. Well, if his next team will be a 6th. I wonder how many of those teams thought the same thing. Let him know it's his last chance and he'll be like, it doesn't work. As long as that father of his is there telling him not to don't listen to the coach. They don't know better. I know better. And that's all you need to know. I think he's ruined. I don't see how he's not ruined at this point. Oh, where was I? Again, I know, Bats. J Bats, you want them. I would like where are they going to get that money from? First of all, they don't really have it, so I don't know where they get it from, and I don't think there's anybody I want them to move off the team so they could bring Chucky in. Nope. Not for me. He was our draft pick. Yeah, so
3rd overall.
I can think about a few other draft picks that were our draft pick. Do you want them back? No. So that doesn't mean anything. Do you think the Habs will try to protect Caulfield or let him play freely and learn from his mistakes? He's very talented, but also very young. Well, I think it'll. Oops, got the wrong. I'll get to that in a sec. I think it depends. You'll know the answer to that by the line he's on. If you see Caulfield starting out on the 3rd line, they're protecting him. If you see him starting out on the first 2 lines, I don't think they're protecting him completely. Maybe second line's a bit, but if he's on the first line, I don't think they're protecting him. Unless you see that Anderson's on the left side. Then I can say, well, they got Anderson for his size and his physicality. Then maybe so. A little bit. Not $750. They don't have the money, though, J-Bats. They don't have the money. Where are they getting the $750 from?
Yeah, we're going to end up with what? Like, if we're lucky, $100,000?
No, they need to have some money going in. You need $1.5 million or so to start the season. So they don't have the money to do this. So, yeah, I wouldn't do that for Chucky. Yeah, exactly. Why bring in a guy like that? Could take a job away from a kid getting experience and all that. And Paling, I dare say, would do better than Chucky anyway. I think. And I used to like Chucky. Believe me, I wasn't happy when they traded him for Domi. I wasn't. But that didn't last long. Calder Caulfield. I hope so. I hope he gets the Calder. That would be super, super cool. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you can justify bringing Chucky in.
No.
I don't see how.
I mean, I got to give him credit. He did get a secondary assist on the first OT goal. The first OT game we had to win. So.
Who did?
Chucky.
Yeah, but he also got
I'm talking about when he passed back to Suzuki and then Suzuki and Caulfield went on the break.
Not a good assist. I don't like that assist. I don't want him getting those kind of assists here in Montreal.
Right. But at least he did get a secondary assist.
Yeah. Yep. So you pay him $750. I don't think besides, I mean, like, really, we don't have the money.
No, we don't.
Somebody has to move out. If they're going to bring anybody else in, literally somebody's got to move out. So there's no room. And they can't like they've used up their 10% over the salary cap for the off season, right? So when we're talking, they have no money. They literally are not allowed, right? They've used up their 10% over. They're right there, and they can't. There's no way for them to do it without moving somebody. So if you want Chucky,
who do you
want them to move out? That's the question. If you think they should sign Chucky, who should they move out to make room for him? Because that's what it comes down to.
That's with Weber's money too, right?
Yep. No. Because we won't get that till just before the season starts. We won't get that LTIR money. So right now we're sitting 10% over because we don't have that. I guess if they had that and it was in their pockets.
Well, no, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I think we're okay. Because once the season starts, we get the LTIR money. We're under the cap.
No, but in the off season, you can't go more than 10% over the cap.
Right. No, but that's what I'm saying. But we're there now. When Weber's money kicks in, we should be fine. So I don't think we need to move it.
But you can't sign him then until Weber's money kicks in, if that's what you're saying. But even that'll just drop it down so that they're still just under the cap.
No, I know.
So they still don't have the money. Somebody will have to move out Byron. That's easy to say for guys that's injured. Who you moving an injured player to? You're a GM. Are you making a deal to get an injured player? I don't think so.
Nope.
And an injured guy with a big contract for what he does, right? So again, come up with somebody else, because I don't think Byron you can move till he's back in the lineup and playing. See, so it's not, it's nice to want Chucky, but there's no way to get him here, and I don't want him. So
no, I just meant in terms of like I don't think we're gonna have to move anybody to get under the cap to go into the like where we are right now. We can go into the season, and once Weber's money kicks in, we'll be under the cap. Like I'm not saying sign any. I'm just saying like we don't need to move anybody right now to make sure we're to stay under the cap.
No, but if you want to bring in Chucky, or you want to have a PTO guy, a guy on a PTO, and then sign him, you got to find the money.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. So it's not even really like it's a question. Do you want this guy that? You can't. You can't. You just can't do it. Oh, we're at the bottom. Well, if we're at the bottom, we're almost 2 hours in. So another 5-10 minutes, and then we'll be heading out. Where does Perreault play? Because everybody putting together the 4 lines never uses him. But that's because I don't think he's here to take a regular spot. I don't.
Yeah, I think he's here as a depth, like an emergency depth guy in case of like injury or, if you want to rest a guy for a game or something.
Right, and he's an experienced guy in the locker room, giving all that, mentoring the guys. There's that part of why he's here, but I don't think he's here for a regular role at a camp. I mean, it could work out that way, but I just don't see it. I don't think that's why he's here. Tony, again, you're making an assumption. We don't know about Byron getting LTIR money. And if Byron gets LTIR money, that's fine. When he comes back 3 months, when he's ready, you got to move somebody to get him in, or you got to move him directly right then. And that would be hard to do off of an injury. So again, it's not as easy as, it's easy said, not easy done. Because I personally, I don't think Byron's getting. I don't think they're going to give him LTIR money.
No, I don't think.
Besides that, by the way, if you're not sure, the LTIR money is decided on by the league whether the player qualifies. If they don't feel the player qualifies to go on LTIR, they can say no. So, but I'm sure they're sure about it for Weber, but I don't think that's a surety with Byron. Chucky never impressed Larry. It seemed to me that he didn't work hard enough to realize his potential. This was a knock on him that he didn't work hard. He didn't do the work to improve his game. He wasn't his work ethic wasn't great, and his father was always in his ear to say, "Don't listen to the coaches." Big problem. He had a Coke problem. Yeah, apparently, he liked Diet Coke, but he couldn't find it everywhere. It was a big problem for him. Look, I know that's a rumor. It is a rumor, but I don't know. We don't know the truth of that. So, any money saved putting Byron on LTIR, MB would want the extra money to work with at the deadline. Good point, too. But Byron, by the deadline, will be back in the lineup. He'll be off the LTIR. See, that's the point right there as well, right? So when Byron comes, you put him on the LTIR, you get his $3.4 million, and then he's ready to come back. What do? Now you got to move somebody, without a doubt. So, but I still don't think he's getting that LTIR money. So it makes the question moot at that point if he doesn't get LTIR.
Right.
And for what he has, I mean, I don't see why he would. There's lots of guys that go out for 2-3 months. They don't get LTIR. Some do. But like I said, it still creates a problem. So I guess that's it. we're done. So we're going to take off here. I want to thank everybody for Saturday night. I know I don't call it Saturday night hockey talk. Saturday hockey talk. Yeah, thanks everybody for being here. We are about 3 weeks away from. Well, it's
right around there.
Wednesday training camp opens, so I believe training camp is about 2 weeks. So we're 2.5 weeks away from opening night, which is 13th of October, which puts us what? Am I right about that? No, I'm wrong.
No, it's up to you.
We're about a month. I'm way off. We're about a month away. So I am. Yeah, I mean, we'll be back Wednesday. So training camp opens Wednesday. It'll just be weigh-ins and physicals. So there won't be that much to report, but we'll be doing the membership drive. So we'll be here and live, and we can talk about whatever comes out about it. And then Thursday they'll be on the ice, and I'm not sure now. I think the 25th is the first preseason game.
Yeah, it's against Toronto.
So we've got that, and if they are televised and I'm able to watch them, then I'll do if not all 6, I'll do some of them live stream like a regular season, so I can get the rust out, and then the regular season starts on the 13th. So that's a long way to say, hey, have a good night. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. Thanks, Matt, as always. And since Matt's quiet, good night from Matt, because he might not be there. I don't know.
Night, everybody.
And so thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. We'll see you Wednesday and then next Saturday. Stay safe out there. Peace out, y'all. Have a good one.